Commander David Fravor was leading a training exercise from the USS Nimitz Carrier Strike Group when the incident occurred. The New York Times reported in an interview with Fravor that the objects appeared suddenly at 80,000 feet and then hurtled toward the sea, stopping at 20,000 feet and just remained hovering. Then it either dropped out of radar range or shot straight back up.
It accelerated like nothing I've ever seen. I have no idea what I saw. It had no plumes, wings, or rotors, and outran our F-18s.
When these craft clearly demonstrate unconventional flight dynamics, there are a number of hypotheses as to how they might be accomplishing this.
Even though the tic-tac seems to be, from an outside observer, seems to be moving at, say, 20,000 miles an hour, it's not generating any friction. Like when a rocket comes into the Earth's atmosphere, you get a re-entry problem and it heats up. That doesn't happen with tic-tac. See, that doesn't happen with the tic-tac. The way warp drive is, it's like surfing on a wave. The wave is the curvature of space, the rippling of space. So the surfer is not really moving relative to the water he's around. He's moving with the water. That's the way the tic-tac moves. But it's controlling the way the space is warping. See, it's controlling its path. And it does it with small amounts of energy. So the hardest thing for people to understand is that when you see a flying saucer or a tic-tac, it's not an ordinary vehicle that's moving through air. It's controlling the gravitational field right around its fuselage. For example, if the tic-tac wants to move to the east, let's say, if it moves to the east, what it does, it's able to contract the space in its nose and expand the space in its tail. It's folding space, sitting still in space, really. But to the outside observer, it looks as if it's moving.
Warp drive, as the name implies, relies on warping space so that you're stretching space on one end of your ship and expanding it by a lot on the other. So you're zipping through space-time. That's how I like to imagine it. However, anti-gravity propulsion is different. Anti-gravity is where you can create your own gravitational field that essentially repels or cancels the gravitational field that you're being affected by.
Well, with anti-gravity, the big advantage that thing would have is when you encounter planets. You can come and go off of its surface without having to fight all the gravitational forces of a planet, which would cause you to build your ships with different propulsion systems. If a warp drive system had an anti-gravity system, that would be real handy, because you use your warp drive to get from place to place, switch over to the anti-gravity when you get inside a gravity field of a planet, and basically you will have removed all the energy that's involved with magnetism, such as, kinetic energy, momentum, inertia. All that would evaporate.